Welcome to Diva on a Mission podcast, where we share snippets of joy to uplift, inspire, and motivate you. I am your host, Eva the Diva, and I am thrilled to bring you stories that transform everyday moments into profound experiences. I have been away, but in the meantime, I have been posting the travel videos for the residency that I experienced in Turkana for, I think it was the end of May. And yes, it was the end of May. It was 8 days in Turkana. And so I have been posting those videos on our YouTube channel, and that has been replacing the podcast where I usually just sit here and talk to you about what is on my mind or what I think is relevant for you today. So it is no surprise that I'm going to talk about the Polygamist, which has created an uproar all over social media. It has been all over my For You page on TikTok and the conversations on my stories on Instagram. And I thought, and even my friends and my sister and I were discussing it, and I thought it would be interesting to discuss what I think about, not spoilers of the show, but about the whole idea of polygamy and how we can embrace polygamy in our everyday lives. So, if you do not know what is happening, The Polygamist is a 22-episode telenovela based on the Zimbabwean novel by Sue Nyathi, which kicks off with the death of a wealthy philandering businessman, and it unfolds as a revenge story following his relationships and how he manages it. Of course, he had more than one wife, but it is, I think, the mechanics and the reality of how this character manages his relationships that has really triggered a lot of people. A lot of women on my stories of my For You page were talking about how this is like play by play of what has been happening for them as children growing up in a polygamous household. Women have come out saying that this is not even the worst of it that they've experienced as women married to men who are polygamous. And I was like, in this day and age, we need to find ways to make systems work for us. And I'm talking about women. Our mission should be to find systems that work for us and abandon those that do not. Because what I believe is important is to decide for yourself and empower yourself in as many ways as possible. I know life happens. I know people unwittingly find themselves into situations where they are married to a man who is wanting more than one wife, or you're finding yourself in a situation where you're being played romantically, career-wise, financially, socially. And this puts you in a bad position in regards to your health, in regards to your social status, in regards to your financial status, in regards to your career. And so I was thinking of polygamy as a system. How can we change this system so that it works for us? And that's why I thought it would be appropriate for us to maybe discuss ways that we can embrace polygamy and make it work for ourselves, right? So, to be clear, polygamy is usually one man, multiple wives, and is legally and cultural contentious. And for many women, it is inherently unequal. However, if you're a woman already in a polygamous structure by choice, faith, or circumstance, living your best life requires shifting from survival mode to strategic empowerment. How can you embrace polygamy practically, right? Number one, redefine best life as autonomy, not approval. Your best life cannot depend on a man's rotation schedule. Build your identity around your purpose, your career, your children, or community, not about being his favorite. How does this look like from an action point of view? Schedule your non-negotiable personal time, work related time, gym related time, friendships, right? Before he creates his schedule. So create a schedule that works for you. His visits or whatever it is that he's doing should fit into your calendar, not the other way around. Number 2, master financial independence. In polygamy, shared resources often create scarcity. So protect yourself. How does this look from an action point of view? If you work, keep your income separate. If you're a homemaker, negotiate a fixed individual allowance, not a shared household budget that you save and invest privately. Legally document, and then you have to create a system there financially that works for you. And also legally document assets in your name only. The third way is to create a sister-wife contract, not just romance. Like, you need to approach this polygamous situation like a company structure where everyone has roles and responsibilities, and this is defined in a written document, or yes, most specifically in a written document. You can't be looking at your sister wife from a romantic point of view or romanticizing this. Look at it like it is a company structure. So, of course, emotions will flare, and this structure is supposed to prevent jealousy by formalizing logistics. Who's picking up the kids? When is visitation? When do we visit the in-laws? How do we financially provide for the gifts that we take to our in-laws, or whatever support is given, right? And this looks like, from an action point of view, as agreeing on written rules for holidays, sick days, child rearing, and public appearances. Who's taking the kids for practice? Who's doing the parent-teacher day? Who is paying school fees? Who's buying school supplies? Who's buying uniforms? Who is doing homework with the children? How is healthcare provided? How is their social well-being provided for? In a polygamous situation, you have to treat this like by documenting, by assigning tasks, and do not leave any item as being too innocuous or undefined. That is where the problems will come in. So, the fourth way you can make polygamy work for you is by guarding your mental and physical health. Polygamy is emotionally taxing. Jealousy is natural. Don't suppress it, manage it. How does this look from an action point of view? Have a therapist. If you are in a religious setting and you want something religion-based, you can find them find a counselor that works for you and works with your life philosophy, a therapist that works for you or your life philosophy, or a trusted mentor outside the marriage. Prioritize routine health checkups, include STI testing. And what else can I say? Yes, mental health, physical health. So make sure your physical health is taken care of. You get health checkups, you get STI testing, you get mental well-being and therapy support, so that you guard your mental health and physical health. The fifth way you can embrace polygamy is by cultivating a robust social circle. If your community judges you, you will feel trapped. Find your tribe. How does this look from an action point of view? Connect with other polygamous women, online, locally, who are thriving. Do not isolate yourself in the shared home. Have friends and activities that have nothing to do with your husband. So you're essentially building your own world outside of the marriage and creating systems that work specifically for you. You are the priority in these systems that we are creating. The sixth way you can embrace polygamy is by choosing your battles wisely. You cannot control his other relationships. You can only control your reaction. What does this look like from an action point of view? Let go of monitoring his phone or comparing treatment. Instead, judge the marriage by one metric. Does being here give me more resources, freedom, or peace than living would? If their answer is no for 6 straight months, plan an exit, not a protest. I hope these 6 ideas and pointers help you create a world where you are more in charge, where you are the priority, and where your needs are number one. And so that we are not ending up as victims in our own lives. The hard truth is, in as much as men will try and present this as a winning thing for you, you have to actually put in the work to create systems that protect you, protect your well-being, and that give you the best life possible. You cannot win polygamy by being a better wife. You win by becoming a person who is whole with or without your husband. Use the structure for stability, but never sacrifice your legal rights, career, or self-respect for the title of first wife, goat wife, favorite. Your best life is one where you are the protagonist, not a supporting character in his story. And I hope by using these pointers, you can embrace polygamy for your betterment. Until next time, if you have, actually before I sign out, if you have ideas on how we can better embrace polygamy to better women and so that women are winning, please send me an email at doampodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on TikTok at doampod, or make a comment in the comment section of this YouTube channel or YouTube video, or Diva on a Mission podcast on YouTube. And until next time, please go live your best life and create strategies where you are the winner. Peace. Bye.